I'm going to run through the 3-year-olds for you guys. It has been a pretty good run across the board. 2-year-olds, 3-year-olds, and aged horses the last month or so. And, you know, I'm really happy with what is going on now, but also what is coming up. We have some other horses that are getting ready, some other horses that are starting to do good things. And it's a really, really cool time of year for us. Admiral Dio, I watched him train the other day. I thought the horse trained rather well. He is going to be ready, as I said, around September or so. Harry likes him, likes what he's doing. And I'll tell you what, he is a good-looking horse on the track, that's for sure. Arson, talk about good-looking horses. He is a very, very nice little horse. And going into tomorrow's final, I think the favorite, but I'm not positive. But definitely one of the players in the division at Oak Grove. A very long conversation today, Saturday, in a video talking about Arson, his future, what our plans are, what we might do, what we might not do with him. A lot hinges on tomorrow, I suppose, and what Scotty thinks of him after. Most of what we were talking about, I'll defer my final thoughts until I've spoken to Scotty about the horse, because he's been the one that has been driving him. Born to Dance is in the sale on Monday. I think he's only got 1 or 2 wins left in that non-winners of 7 claimer. He's 8-5 on Monday evening. So just so we're clear, if he's sold, he's sold. We'll be racing him for the new owners on Monday evening at Northfield Park. And I suspect he'll do well on Monday also. I just thought it was the right time to move the horse. Dominion is also in the sale on Monday. Now he races Saturday night, tonight. So that money will be ours if he races well. Hopefully he does well, and then we'll see how he sells on Monday. I don't think any of the horses that are selling on Monday we're going to straight up give away. I don't want Wander Hill's got to go. He's just a horse. I'll be watching He's a Great Guy very closely. But the other horses, I'm not giving them away, whether it be Victory Blue Chip, Born to Dance, or Dominion. They still have to bring fair money, fair market value, because there are races for these horses moving forward. Don't Talk About Bruno raced decent the other night. As Joe put it, a swampy track. So we'll see how Don't Talk About Bruno does tomorrow in Clinton, I believe, in the Prospect Series. Somebody had asked me, why is it George in it? Because I'm not racing George the Jungle back in 4 days at Clinton. I'm just not doing it. He's going to be a useful horse, but not on the same trajectory as Don't Talk About Bruno. Drebin raced good last night again in the mud. I thought James thought he was a little rough, a little scrambly. Might have to do a little work on Drebin heading into his next race. But by all accounts, Drebin looked good. Flash Fly is jogging back training. He's starting to train now. I don't know how she trained this morning, but starting to train now. We'll see how she is in the next week or two. Plan to have her ready in about 3 weeks or so. George of the Jungle, we just talked about George. George raced well. I thought the horse raced well on a very off-track, finishing second also. I was happy with his race, and I expect good things from George moving forward. Great Bet is definitely in the right place, man. But a change of scenery sometimes, and a little softer bunch of horses to race against sometimes goes a very long way, and it definitely went a very long way with Great Bet. He looks very good right now. You saw it with Militant. You're seeing it on the pacing side with Great Bet, having horses that were in a little bit tough and they seemingly looked lost, and then you switched them to a group of horses they should be able to handle. They go out and look good, win good, get confident, and now just looked awesome. And that's exactly how Great Bet and Militant looked right now. Gypsy Hill did not get in this week, so he said, well, are we going to race him? No, we're not going to race him every single week. He's not a robot. He can skip a week now and again. Both him and Irresistible Son are racing fantastic. They'll likely be in next week, and then they do have a Buckeye coming up after that. Hallie in the Clouds. I just thought it was more her attitude than anything, but upon closer review, realized that she tied up a little bit. Her CK was 2,500 and her AST was 600 the next day, which means she literally tied up at Grand River. So I guess there was a little more to it than that. Not shocking, considering she's a filly, has tied up a little bit in the past, and then you factor in that just horrible weather, pouring rain, doesn't take a whole lot to shake that tree. And Hallie in the Clouds may miss next week. I'm not sure yet from that break at Grand River. I'm Fancy Like. Missed a week. We had to scratch her. She was a little sick. There was a tiny little virus going through. It didn't run through like wildfire. It skipped a bunch of horses. It seemed to be easily treated. So we'll see if we can get Fancy back on track very quickly. Insider Trading is training now. We're getting her ready to race very soon. Irresistible Sun. I just talked about the same with Gypsy. Yes, he missed this week. No, it's not the end of the world. Somebody said, well, you know, like to race them when they're sharp. Well, that's wonderful. I'd like to keep them sharp. That's what I'd like to do. And when it comes to these two colts, they're on a forward march. Their trajectory looks good. Let's just keep them happy and racing and moving forward. Lonely Lakewood bled a little bit last week. He's on Lasix now, so he'll race Wednesday afternoon. Hunter Myers is back on the bike to drive him Wednesday afternoon. Lonely Lakewood. Lover's Play is going to need a little time off. She was a little sore right hind after her last race. She's had some issues to begin with and also struggles with allergies, so I guess a short break is a little timely for her. My thought process on Lover's Play was always you know, race her until breeding season and then potentially breed her, and that is exactly what I think we're going to do with her. So I just don't want anybody shocked. I've only said it 47 times now when it comes to Lover's Play. That is my plan with Lover's Play. She's already got a mark. I'd like to race her straight into the fall, into the winter, and then breed her likely starting in February of next year. That's the plan with Lover's Play. Mel Gibbswan is starting to jog and train back now. I believe the plan was to train him today. He's been jogging all week. I'm waiting for an update from Stacy and Dr. Carter in regards to Mel Gibbswan, but they were both very, very happy with the way the leg's set up and the way the leg is looking. So interested to see how he continues through his 3-year-old season. Militant certainly looks good right now. The horse was bionic his last 3. Now, by bionic, I don't mean he went out and won the Open. He won a condition claimer, but he did it in the easiest sort of fashion. So we'll see how he does next week. Mounds for All, his leg looks good. He's sound on it. So a very minor fracture, and as I said, it took an MRI to find it. They couldn't even find it under X-ray. So I suspect he'll need a little more time in the stall, maybe 3 weeks in the stall, and then we'll start with the aqua treadmill and then start jogging him back. I don't want anybody to get excited and think that he's going to make some sort of stake races. He is paid into those ladder stakes at Hoosier. Can he make those? I think they're attainable, but as far as the sire stakes looks, it's not looking great in that regard. Pickpocket is in on Sunday. Peter Wren did drive him last year, and he's going to drive him again on Sunday, so I'm eager to see how he looks. Prince Charmer was training last trip when I left the barn today. He will race next Saturday at Northfield Park. Pull the Shoes is in foal. I guess it's a broodmare. She shouldn't be on this list, but she's in foal to Tactical Approach in Kentucky right now. If I'm going to talk about her, I'm going to talk about Punch the Clock. Punch the Clock's embryo transfer was successful. The surrogate mare is in foal. In where are they at? Maryland, I believe. So Punch the Clock. Dr. Alyssa had called me or texted me the other day from Walnridge and said, listen, do you want me just to keep an eye on this filly until we know her uterus is clean, everything is cleaned up, and then send her wherever you want, or do you want to ship her out right away? I said, well, I want her set up best she can be set up for an early mating season next year. So by all means, please do what you have to do to get her perfect. So that's the plan with her. Purple People Eater raced good, a winner last week. She's coming into the summer racing great, looking great. She's got a Buckeye coming up, I believe. Jason said Ready for Landing was great last night, continues to improve better and better and better every week. And I know that Scotty must watch the videos closely, because he said, I know you're thinking about the Poconos with him, the Beal. And he said, yes, I am him and Drebin. I have earmarked to make an appearance at the Beal, hopefully. Now that is purse-wise, so they have to make enough money to make it into the Beal. I think they're on the same plane as Brace for Landing last year, so I would like to see both of those horses make it into that race. I really don't care. We're going to gallop her for about a week and get her good. Look, the lameness that we found was simply from a splint that she had, an area she'd been hitting on her left shin. So we changed her shoes around a little bit. We're going to gallop her up really, really tight, train her once on the race bike, and put her in to go. I have zero interest in going back to the New York Cyrus Excelsior Stakes. In case you know, I've said this to our clients, but I know people saying, well, we're going to Buffalo. I'm not going anywhere with this filly, anywhere near the Excelsior Series right now. I want to get her back on track. I want to get her racing. I want to get her under. She's going to be under our care for the next 2 or 3 weeks. So she won't be making any appearances in Buffalo or Tioga or anywhere like that. She's going to stay right in Northfield Park for now. Now, she might make a trip over the Meadows. That's possible, but that remains to be seen. Sunset Acres Girl races this afternoon at, I have no idea, Michigan. So we'll see how she races. Good luck to all my partners with Sunset Acres Girl. Sweeney may miss a week. They said he just tucks himself in his last race. Wanted to give him a week. So I said, well, whatever, you guys are training him. Whatever you think you need to do, go ahead and do. So I can't say that Sweeney is in to go or will be in to go next week, but they expect him to be in the week after. Time is on my side. I'm coming over here right now to drive Time is on my side. Super excited about this race today with him. Victory Blue Chip is in the sale on Monday. I suspect he'll sell and sell decently. He's a decent horse. Was a winner in his last start in 59 and looked very good doing it. Watch Your Mouth needs to do more. I suspect at this point he's leaning towards a trajectory of he may show up at Northfield Park and then potentially be sold. I don't know yet. Very similar trajectory to Great Bet, but I can't say with any sort of certainty just yet. And Widespread Panic, I'm hearing great things out of Indiana for Widespread Panic. Adam Rucker called me today and said he was thoroughly pleased with the horse. They love him. They think he's a killer. That is wonderful news. I was very skeptical when we sent the horse out if he was ready mentally to go there, but it appears he loves the state of Indiana, and I can't wait now to see him race on Wednesday evening. So now you're all updated with the sophomores. As you heard, my phone just rang. It was Jason. I'm going to give him a call back. But for right now, we are all caught up with your 3-year-olds. Take care.